What up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Day Heffrey. It's nice to see you today. As you can see, Studio Day Heffrey is going through some changes. I now have Andre 3000 behind me. I have Doc Holliday behind me, and I have Gandalf behind me. If I ever move, you can see Gandalf back there. We're making moves in Studio Day Heffrey. All right, today's Cowboys content, though, because one thing that a lot of people have been asking me, is about the Cowboys linebackers, right? Last year's starters, Jaylon Smith, Leighton Vander Esch. You've added Keanu, Neal, and you've added Micah Parsons, and you've added Jabril Cox, but we won't worry about him as much today. That's probably something for a little further down the road. I think he'll play his way into the rotation. But what I want to start with is, how do you get all four linebackers on the field? And I'm going to give you the answer. This is how you get all four linebackers on the field, okay? Once upon a time, Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator in Seattle. So 2013, 2014. So here's a picture of the Seahawks defense from 2013. It's from fieldgoals.com, so they've already labeled it for us. They're real nice about that, right? So when you look at this picture, the way you would get all the Cowboys linebackers on the field is there's three down linemen there, or you could call it four, whatever you want to call it. Technically, this is a 4-3 under front. You can run a 4-3 under, you can run a 4-3 over, you can run a 3-4, you can run a bare front, whatever, right? You can run all sorts of different things. I don't want to get too bogged down in the X's and O's. I just want to go through the idea of getting all four linebackers on the field. So in this scenario, you would have three down linemen, three real down linemen. As you can see, they're labeled 1 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech. So one of them would be like a Quentin Bohanna, right? He could be your 1 tech that's sitting there between the center and the guard. 340, 350 pounds of beef. Then you have a 3 technique on one side of him, a 5 technique on the other side of him. You can line them up at 3 techs, whatever. You'll have 3 down linemen. So call it Brent Urban and Bohanna and Neville Gallimore. Call it whatever you want. And then the guy who is labeled as Sam, that is over there on the strong side of the formation where the tight end and the fullback are, that would be Jaylon Smith. The guy that is labeled Mike, that would be Leighton Vander Esch. The guy that is labeled Will, that would be Keanu, Neal. And the guy that is labeled Leo would be Micah Parsons. So this is where I get down to where the 3-4 and the 4-3 aren't that different. You could call this whatever you want. I know coaches will kill me for this. You can call this whatever you want. You could call that a 4-3. Technically, that is a 4-3. The Leo is the weak side defensive end. But if you wanted to, you could say, no, it's a 3-4. Look, you got a 3 tech, a 1 tech, a 5 tech, and the Leo's a linebacker. That's why it's called Leo, by the way. Leo is because L starts the word linebacker, and E starts the word end. It's like a hybrid position. So that's the answer to getting all 4 linebackers on the field. My biggest issue with why it's not going to happen very often is the other thing you have to notice about that picture. And what you have to notice about that picture is that you have a tight end and you have a fullback. So you can afford to run that personnel group. I think it'd be a lot harder to put all those linebackers on the field if you're talking about an offense that is running out 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Sometimes the tight end's in the formation. Sometimes he's not. And that's why most NFL teams run nickel, at which point all of that gets blown up and you start talking about which linebackers are going to be on the field. And the answer is 2 of them. Because I don't think very often you're going to be taking a defensive end off the field for a linebacker. Like, do you want to take Tank Lawrence or Randy Gregory off the field on a pass rushing down to put Micah Parsons as a pass rusher? If you do, go for it. But for the most part, I think the vast majority of plays, you're going to play 2 linebackers. So then the question becomes, who are they? John asked this in the comments on youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on. He said, who are your linebackers in nickel? I go to number 11 and number 42, but then don't know about LVE's role. Is number 6 going to be on the field in base? All right, so let's throw out numbers for a second, and let's use names because we're trying to be friendly to people, okay? A year ago, it would have been Jaylon Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. This year, that's the $1 million question. Because I do believe that Keanu Neal is going to play a lot. As we've been going through the OTAs and we're going into mini camps, we have heard a lot that Leighton Vander Esch is working as the middle line or the weak side linebacker. No, the middle linebacker. I apologize. I'm an idiot. Leighton Vander Esch has been – no, I am an idiot. Leighton Vander Esch has been working as a weak side linebacker. God, this is one of those times when you'd really just be like, man, I should restart this. But I don't believe in restarting things. I believe in just rolling right through it. Micah Parsons has been working as Mike, the middle linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch has been working at Will, the weak side linebacker. And so following these next 3 days, and our own Brian Broaddus will be out at the practices these next 3 days, what's most interesting to me is just, hey, who's starting? Who's playing the most snaps? Because Keanu Neal, who Mike Nolan loves, Dan Quinn loves, good God. Oh, my God. You are a professional broadcaster, for crying out loud. Maybe get the names right, bro. Maybe focus a little bit. Goodness gracious, get it together, man. Dan Quinn loves Keanu Neal. And I think Keanu Neal is going to play a bunch. So how does this shake itself out? And I haven't even mentioned Jaylon Smith. And Jaylon Smith over the last couple of years plays like 98% of the snaps. We're just pretending he's not going to play anymore. So the answer is, I don't know. I can draw up what I think would be their best linebacker core. And I think it would probably be Micah Parsons in the middle, Keanu Neal as your other linebacker, as your weak side guy. The tough part about Jaylon is Jaylon, to me, gets squeezed because he's not better at what I want these guys to do than any of them. Vander Esch wasn't good last year either. Andy's hurt guy. But if you want team speed, if you want a guy that's going to rush the passer, if you want a guy that's going to play the run, Micah Parsons is better than Jaylon at that. If you want to cover, run and tackle, Keanu Neal is better than Jaylon. So that's the hard part is I don't know how Jaylon doesn't get squeezed as the guy in these groupings. Because when you go to nickel, you could put in Keanu Neal sometimes for Micah Parsons. You could put him in for Leighton. Jaylon is the guy that I see getting squeezed, but he's also the guy that plays every freaking snap the last couple of years. So we shall see. Mance, why am I approaching my mid-30s and the Cowboys haven't been in the NFC Championship game since I was 7? Why, Jeff? I don't know. I was like 9 or 10. Because sports are hard. Sports are hard. And the Cowboys aren't the best run organization in sports. They're not the worst. They're really not. But they're certainly not the best at it. Let's see. Roland, it's too early to tell, but who's on the radar to start week 1 at corner alongside Diggs? I'm going to combine that with another question from Pito. He says, any visible DB position switches, how's Nahshon Wright looking? So Nahshon Wright, according to our own Brian Broaddus, who has been at these practices, has yet to have a bad practice. Kelvin Joseph missed one practice with illness. And so far, I think Nahshon Wright would be the positive surprise. Just everything that I've heard about him coming out of practices so far is that he had a good day. He had a good day. He had a good day. Now, at the moment, your starting corners are Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, and Jordan Lewis. How long does that hold up? Is that something that will change in training camp? Is that something that will change in week 4 or 5? And who has a leg up between Kelvin Joseph, your second-round pick, and Nahshon Wright, your third-round pick? To me, that is to be determined. I don't think that a couple of days in OTAs is going to mess with the depth chart. I think it takes more than that. But the fact that you have positive early returns on Nahshon Wright is awesome. The fact that a guy that the entire world wanted to kill the Cowboys for picking in the 3rd round, and so far so good, doesn't look out of place, that's great. The Hellion says, how many more trades/signings will be made before the season starts? Do you think they should? I think none or close to 0. Now, you could tempt me with a free safety. You could tempt me with a Malik Hooker signing if his medical has gotten better or cleared up or his timeline is more clear. You could tempt me with a safety still, for sure. Because right now they're running with Donovan Wilson with a knee, was watching practice, the last one. Because right now it would be DeMonte KZ and Jaron Kearse. And I don't buy that for a second. I don't think that's going to be your starting safeties. I think it'll be Donovan Wilson and KZ. But if you had another body you wanted to throw in the mix at safety, I'm interested in that. Jeff, will McCarthy turn Dallas's offense into 95% passing, 5% running like he did in Green Bay? No. But if it's 70-30, you won't hear a complaint from me. I think it'll be more likely 55-45 or 60-40 pass versus run. And that is all good with me. S. Dion Dotson. Are we going to do split safeties, or are we going to have a true, strong, and free safety defense? I believe you're going to have a true, strong, and free safety defense. And we'll see, because all defenses run multiple things. But I believe your base defense will be Damontae KZ is your free safety, and Donovan Wilson is your strong safety. Elazar also wanted to hear about Nahshon Wright. Let me see here. I think we're good. Oh, Jesus says, Ray, I'm sorry, he said Jesus is the only way. At Ray Pedraza. Is McCarthy the answer to get over the hump? I don't know. I'm the only guy left that thinks McCarthy might be an okay coach. And I wouldn't make the case that he's a great coach, but I think that he's okay, that he's fine. Broadus calls him the gym coach. And he did lie to get the job, but we'll see. All right, thanks for swinging by. Love you guys. Make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. And your favorite part of the chicken. I've done this before, but your favorite part of the chicken. I would go thigh. I would power rank it thigh, leg, wing, breast. That's how I would power rank the chickens. Leave a comment for the algorithm with your favorite piece of chicken and what you want to talk about tomorrow. And pray for my mouse to work so I can hit stop recording. Oh, there it goes. Remember, be cool to everybody because you have no idea what anybody's going through, and I love you. Bye.